was not musical. He dabbled in a bit of this and that. He played the clarinet a little bit, he played the guitar a little bit, but he knew what music he liked, and he also knew what music he didn't like. And oh boy, did I know about it. When I was a child, I learned to play the piano first of all, and he was very strict. If I didn't practice my pieces and just dared to do some improvising, I was told off. That was wrong. That was a bad thing to do, and it was a waste of time and a big no-no. So anyway, for me, my mum used to play the piano to me a lot as a child, and it became apparent that I had a musical ear when I was 2 years old, when my parents discovered that I had perfect pitch. And then a year later, I discovered the piano in our house. I used to use it to add sound effects to stories that I made up as a child, and I also was able to pick out melodies that I heard on the TV and on the radio and play them on the piano. My parents decided that I needed to have piano lessons because they couldn't stop me, they couldn't get me off it, and they were worried that I would learn bad technique if I was left to my own devices. So they found a piano teacher who was prepared to take me on, and she started teaching me from the age of 5 years old. I made quick progress, and I was really enjoying it. 3 years later, I also began to play the violin and the clarinet, and have played all three instruments for a long time. However, I think it was always my dad's wish that I would become a concert pianist ultimately, touring the world, giving recitals and performing concertos with big orchestras all over the place. All the way through school, I was playing three instruments, and then came the time to come to music college. I got a place at the Royal College of Music to study piano, and everything was going great. My playing was liked by people, and I was learning a lot. However, as my time there went on, I realized that I was missing something. I didn't know what exactly, but I didn't feel complete anymore. The piano alone and classical music alone just wasn't doing it for me. I found that with classical music, I had to think specific things when people told me to, and think how people wanted, and I didn't like that. It felt like being trapped and caged, like a bird whose wings are clipped. Choice. I could either carry on down the path that I'd been walking all my life, trying to be this concert pianist my dad wanted me to be, trying to fit myself like a square peg into a round hole, or I could take the fork in the road and do what I wanted to do. Taking that fork in the road was scary. It was very risky, but it offered a great sense of adventure and excitement, and so I decided to take that road instead. I not only started to play the violin and clarinet again, but I also discovered how to play different styles of music. The musical activities I was engaging in ranged from taking forte piano, harpsichord, and even clavichord lessons at the college to performing with the RCM Gamelan Ensemble, where we performed, amongst other things, at the Glastonbury Festival in 2005, which was very, very, very exciting for me. After I left music college, I discovered Innervision Orchestra, and for me that was liberating. Now I was in a situation where improvising was not only but it was expected. We all had to improvise and be comfortable with it. And I loved it. It was like being a kid in a playground again. Really exciting. I could suddenly be me on stage, the real me, not just this piano playing thing in a box. And I also realized I'd been pondering a lot as to why I was never quite able to walk away from the violin, which meant so much to me. And a few years ago, I realized why it was. I mentioned my grandpa earlier on. Well, it was because of him that I began to play the violin in the first place, because he left me his precious violin in his will. He used to play a lot when my mother was growing up, and she used to beg him to let her play, But he wouldn't. He was very particular about who played his precious instrument. And so the fact he left it to me meant a great deal. And although I don't have his instrument anymore, I have this one, and she's incredible. And I realised that Grandpa wanted me to carry on where he left off, and that's why I couldn't drop the violin at all. I'd like to share 3 tunes with you tonight, 3 Welsh folk tunes. The first 2 are quite slow and expressive, and the last one is more of a jolly one, but I'll tell you about that after I played the first 2. So the first one I'm going to play is All Through the Night, and then we're going to play the Ash Grove. Very much. And now to the third little gem that I found on YouTube a few weeks ago. This is a very jolly fiddle tune called Tom Jones. Nothing to do with the singer whatsoever, although I believe he did do some famous numbers, but it's not unusual to forget what those are sometimes. This tune is special to me, not just because I like it, which is a good reason to play it, obviously, but also I realised the day after discovering it that obviously the piece is called Tom Jones. There's a special link here. My grandpa was called Thomas John. Happy coincidence? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everybody, you're watching the Blind.tv, the 24/7 channel featuring blind people. Please give us your feedback. If you are visually impaired and you have something interesting to contribute about your life and your activities, we would love to feature you on this channel. Please get in touch at baluji@baluji.com. Thank you. أهلا وسهلا بكم أعزائي المشاهدين. أنتم تشاهدون محطة The Blind.tv، المحطة المباشرة على مدار الساعة التي تعرض ما يخص المكفوفين. ارسلوا لنا تعليقاتكم إذا كنتم من أصحاب الإعاقة البصرية ولديكم ما تريدون أن تشاركونا معهم بما يتعلق بحياتكم ونشاطاتكم. يسعدنا أن نعرض مشاركتكم على هذه المحطة. اتصل بنا على البريد الإلكتروني baluji@baluji.com. شكرا.
Hello, my name is Kate Portal, and in some ways, my life was a little similar to Abby, except that I didn't have perfect pitch, and I probably messed around. I didn't just improvise on the piano, I really banged about, and I think my parents were quite disillusioned at some time. I went to special school, and they thought it was very odd for a child to want to learn other instruments than the piano. We did a wonderful amount of singing, though, and I liked all kinds of singing. In those times as well, there was a folk revival taking place, and although I didn't really understand what that was about at primary school, at secondary school I began to realise that there were these amazing things going on all over the country, and that was partly because of a radio programme, and we'd listen to the listings which they broadcast. We'd take them on our cassette tape recorders and found one that was quite near to the school and bribed the staff to take us there. It gave me the idea that I might be able to do floor spots in folk clubs, and I grew very excited and interested, not only about the cheerful songs, but the more plaintive ones. And I was very innocent. And in this song I'm going to sing you, it uses herbs as a symbolic reference to the state of a woman. And of course, there are many songs that talk about women having their time stolen by a man. But I feel, in a way, my time, in the herbal sense, has only been stolen by time in a chronological sense. And so I'll just take a bit of time here to, let's see, find what I'm looking for. A very important... Okay, so, and the last line repeats of each verse. So do join in that when you hear it. So, come all you young and tender girls that flourish in your time, and beware, be you young and fair, let no man steal your time, let no man steal your time. For when your time is past and gone, they'll care no more for you. For every place that your time was waste shall grow all with rue, shall grow all with rue. A woman is a branchy tree, and man a swinging vine, and from her branches carelessly he will take what he can find, he will take what he can find. The gardener's son was standing by, 3 flowers he gave to me, the pink, the blue, and the violet true, and the red rosy tree, the red rosy tree. But I refused the red rose bush and gained the willow your time. Let no man steal your time. The next song I'm going to sing is far more jolly, and it came about, I do enjoy wordy, humorous songs, and I heard Martin Carthy singing it, and I learnt it from a CD from somebody called Duncan McFarland. And the thing is, this song, like many, in fact, have an input from a blind musician. The tune that it's been reborn to, in a sense, was by a Scottish fiddler called Willie Rankin, who lived in Aberdeenshire early in the 19th century. And the lyrics come from a collection of ballads, no, not ballads, a collection of songs that were thought to be rather indecent. They were called Secret Silence. They were collected by the ballad collector Child, who I think placed them in a library in Harvard in the US. And this was found by an English folk song collector called A.L. Lloyd, and Martin Carthy took an interest in it. What I also find interesting is that I think within the oral tradition, there's a lot of influence from blind people. I think many of us don't want our blindness to be separate from who we are, but we carry our blindness with us in whatever we do, whether it's making music or other things, and it becomes an integral part of our identity without being negative or positive. And I think, well, the tune of this is certainly really positive. I'm just going to pick up my concertina, which is a Haydn concertina. It's the easiest instrument to play, but concertinas come in many shapes and forms, and very few concertina players play this version of the concertina, which is a great shame, really, because it's terribly easy. I shall just pick it up. This one is a very special one. It's made by Colin Dipper, who's a top concertina maker. And for anyone who might not know this at the time, it's got beautiful green leather, and it's all rather special. Let's see. I do have to tell you, having told you a little bit about me, which we're all encouraged to do at great length in Innervision. It's how we operate. But about the story of this song, just in case any of you or I lose track, it's all about a farmer who's not very well off and a bit loaded down with worldly cares. He comes across the devil, who makes him an offer he just can't miss. But this involves something which he's not sure. In fact, he knows he can't rise to the challenge. And so it's a bit Faustian, really. But it is his wife who comes up with a very special way of dealing with this. And I've forgotten if I said these songs were of an indecent nature, all these this collection of things. This is supposed to be indecent. I don't think it is at all indecent, but it's certainly got a few twists and turns. But it's the woman who helps him out, and Abby will be helping me out at some point during this too on her fiddle. So here we go. The Devil and the Farmer's Feathery Wife. Oh, there was no farmer lived under the hill, and a poor old fella, they say, he was plagued with hunger and a scolding wife, the worst of his fortune that day. And as he cut wood in the forest one day, between dark doom and despair, The devil himself popped out of a bush and stood before him there. Oh, what's the matter, the devil, he cried. You look so discontent. Haven't you got enough money to buy your food or to pay your landlord's rent? Oh, what would you give me, the devil, he cried, if I should end the debate and give you money and gear enough so you'll never more want for meat? Oh, I've nothing to give you, the farmer, he cried. I've nothing right here to me hand. But if you do as you say for me, I'll be at your command. Well, I'll make you a bargain, the devil, he cried, a bargain you just couldn't miss. You're to bring me a beast at 7 years end, and I'm to say what it is. And if that beast I name aright, to mark what I do tell, you'll have to toddle along with me to view the ovens of hell. Well, the old man prospered, trusted well, and it was all gained and spent. Then he's come to the end of 7 long years, and sorely he did lament. Oh, what's the matter, his wife, she cried. You look so discontent. Have you got some silly young girl with child making you so lament? No, I made a bargain with the devil, he cried, a bargain I just couldn't miss. I'm to bring him a beast at 7 years end, and he's to say what it is. And if that beast he names aright, oh, mark what I do tell, I'll have to toddle along with him to view the ovens of hell. Oh, don't you worry, his wife, she cried, your cattle you keep and you feed, for the wit of a woman it comes in handy at times in an hour of need. Fetch me the droppings of all our chickens and spread them out over the floor. And naked I will strip myself and roll in them over and o'er. And fetch me the basket of feathers, she said, of the geese we had for our tea. And I will roll all over in them till never an inch be free. So she's rolled in droppings, she's rolled in feathers, down her head, down to her navel. By Christ, he says, what an awful sight, you look far worse than the devil. And when the devil himself came in, he started to scream and hiss. By Christ, he said, what an awful sight, and I'm damned if I know what it is. He started to shake, he started to quake, saying, have you got more of these at home? Oh, yes, said the farmer, I got 7 more that in my forest do roam. And if you've got 7 more of these beasts that in your forest do dwell, I'll stick to my bargain. I'm off home, 'cause she's worse than the demons of hell.
Right. Hello. Smisha Flori Nich Cloch and Sagalic Nahalapa, otherwise Flora. And it's easier to say it in English. So my background is Scottish Gaelic on one side and a good mixture with a great deal of Welsh on the other. So I'm always combining whatever comes out musically. But I came to visual impairment by way of a stroke. And I'm well aware that music is now used to help people who've had stroke or other brain injuries. But I never realized just how transforming it is. And I think music has been my agent of transformation. I think music was all around us when we were young. We sung and we danced to music of all kinds, you know, whether it was modern or deep tradition or listening to my auntie singing a song. And she even had, at one point, appearances on television on Wednesday night. And the very unusual thing happened was seeing somebody who had a wonderful sense of humor, who smiled, sung, and possibly had a bottle of water or something like that next occasionally. And then, of course, I then found my way into, believe it or not, this is Mum's side, the Welsh choir, where I settled myself amongst some of the best singers I've ever heard and learned. But some things just still didn't work. Music notes, words had no meaning, really, or little meaning for me. They didn't release their meaning, and that's how stroke works with people. But also, I learned music by ear, and that was the wonderful thing. but nothing really quite worked, and I didn't even know what page I had just sung several times. Thus, I always have to have a few secret prompts somewhere so that I sing a song from front to back and not the other way around. But what's happened also since then, I moved on and I went into writing a different kind of poetry from what I'd written before, or even the protest songs I wrote when I was a teenager, in the 60s, no less. And I think I'm now at the age where the government has told us we may be put away for 4 months, so I'm going to try and just look a bit younger for a few weeks anyway in London. And I can always sneak out at night. But anyway, so I recovered, seemingly, went back to work of sorts in the arts, and then about 6 months ago, it all happened again. And I remember sitting at home, not quite with my head in my hands, thinking, oh no, what am I going to do now? That hospital, they shouldn't have given me these brain zapping tests. Told them. But what I found was that I knew the pathway back. If you've done it once, you can do it again. And so I learnt this song. I'd heard it from my aunt when I was young. And I know that my dad and I have sometimes sung it together. In fact, we sung it last night. And he, as almost always people with the language who are very fluent with it, will tell you all the bits that you need to correct. But I love this song because it's about a young man who's walking up a hill in the island of Barra in the Outer Hebrides. And he's going home after a long stint away, perhaps working away from the islands. As he walks up the hill, he is practicing a song. It's a babysitting song. He has been home for about a year, so he's going to see his newborn son and really looking forward to this. But some of his song, really, he gets the endings mixed up. And some things he says are not quite what babysitting's like, such as, I will drop you down, my lovely little son, and I'll pick you up. It should be the other way around, really. But this, another reason why I went back into this deep, deep tradition of Scottish Gaelic voice music is because the words speak as much as the music does, and word song has become a new interest. So I'll have a go at this, and I'll try to get my endings right. Heij mi yachi, which means I'm going home. And Dad's correction, it should be Cheij mi yachi, but anyway. Heij mi urai vuaina vurain, heij mi urai latach raivik, heij mi urai vuaina vurain, heij mi hin lemorun yarloch, heij mi hinaun, 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 heij mi hinaun, heij mi maroch, heij mi hinaun, 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 heij mi hin lemoruna yarloch, nambulam hinu, 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 nambulam hinu, jenando halav, nambulam hinu, 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 heij mi hin lemoruna yarloch, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, jenando halav, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, jenando halav. Heij mi yachi, horo yachi, heij mi yachi, heij mi maroch, heij mi yachi, horo yachi, heij mi hin lemorun al yarloch, nambulam hinu, 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 nambulam hinu, jenando halav, nambulam hinu, 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 heij mi hin lemoruna yarloch, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, lekanu, hokanu, jenando halav. Boddigen, betig, boddigen, beter, boddigen beter, grade wacher. Little man, little old man, oh, mother's boy. Thank you. And also, I know that we are celebrating, or have been celebrating in the last week, World Women's Day. And this connects because I cannot forget Mum's forebears. I went searching them once, and I had to go all the way to Ireland, south of Scotland, bits of Glasgow, and wonderful music. And I also got to Wales and realized only quite recently that from her telling me one word, which was the name of an old family connection that she had, that these people, this other old family, Huguenots, and they had a connection around here. As you know, the weavers and the silk weavers in particular of Spitalfields. But they had come from further southwest originally when they landed in Britain, and they called themselves, they used this name of themselves, refugees. And they were the first people who identified with that. They had come from somewhere in Middle Europe before they got here. So I wanted to write this rather sort of middle-aged protest song for people who do work, and particularly women who work in the textile industry. And so here we go. It's called I Am a Weaver. I am a weaver. I stand and work between two worlds. My day, it turns to night. Till midnight, a dawn unfurls. And these hands, both young and worn, will make what they don't own. But world, say you see, and this will not always be. For I am a weaver. I stand and work between two worlds. My day will turn to night, midnight, a dawn unfurls. I am the thread that binds and winds your broken bonds. Bare earth to new grass, the growing stalk to corn. For I am a weaver. I work between two worlds. My day turns to night, midnight till dawn unfurls. Who will free me from this hungry tide to bring to me a fruitful life, that my place made of stone will be a field of song. For I am a weaver. My work is between two worlds. My day will turn till night, midnight till dawn unfurls.
Hello everybody, you are watching theblind.tv 24/7 channel run by blind people to show their activity. Please give us your feedback. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Oshodi, and I've written a piece that I'd like to dedicate, hello, to Patricia Oshodi, and it's her birthday today. She's 89, and I'll just let the piece speak for itself. I lost my sight, but I don't know where. Between the ages of 10 and 20, I didn't see it coming. And between 2010 and 2020, Patricia grew lost. But she is still here, and I didn't see it coming. As the world around me faded from view, with a premature dusk that dimmed the light, Patricia watched me, silent, anguished, with hands that were always ready to rise. Now, her memory is chopped up like waves around her ankles, sweeping fragments of her away on the tide. I stand steadfast on the shore, try to hold her hands tight in mine. Sorcerer's hands that years before made party dresses appear like new friends that tumbled out of anonymous cloth. Perfectionist fingers snipping half a head, half a torso, one leg, one arm from folds, to reveal a chain of whole paper dolls. And the same hand that pulled my arm through hers when I couldn't see the street anymore. I didn't see it coming. Those hands would forget the detail of what they once knew. As her mind concertinas back on itself, becoming a collapsed, folded thing that forces fingers now to fidget, fret, and tear at fabric. They once communed with the colour and the warp and the movement of. I didn't see it coming, that she would one day wander around looking for something that she can clearly see, and that I would feel around seeking for something that I can no longer. Both of us saying at the same time, where is it? What have I done with it? Where has it gone? My sight, my mother. Like a bell struck out in the dark, sending a shock out. A universal knowing there is no return. An immutable change has crept across my vision and the memory of Patricia. Relating to the remnants is all that remains. And a knowing that there are no guarantees. That I will continue to know myself as I now know myself to be. Because we don't see it coming.
Hello everybody, you are watching theblind.tv 24/7 channel run by blind people to show their activity. Please give us your feedback. Thank you very much. सत श्री अकाल, आदावर्स। आप इस समय theblind.tv 24/7 चैनल देख रहे हैं। ये नेत्रहीनों के द्वारा प्रारंभ किया गया है। कृपया अपनी प्रतिक्रिया अवश्य दें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
That just leaves little old me, doesn't it? Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the evening. I'm sure you are. I'm enjoying. We are. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, is she or isn't she? And yes, you're absolutely right. I was a guitar player before I played keyboards. But yes, I am transgendered. Strange thing it is, a lot of people think that it's more a whim. Someone decides, I like pretty things, therefore I will suddenly be feminine. It doesn't work that way. It's in the head. People who are, and I dare say I will use the word, forced down this route, because there is, for most transgendered people, no choice. I can remember a time when it was either do something about it or not be here. Perhaps we're getting to that stage for everyone now with this flipping virus going around. Who knows? But it's going to set you thinking. But what I'd like to do is take you on a little journey of what happened to me right from the beginning of transition, if you like. Little song I wrote what must it be, 15 years ago? Thereabouts, if not longer. It's called Let Me Out of Here. You recognize this person the whole of your life. You've listened to the words that she said. You hope she is right, because she is there, right inside your head. You've listened to her tell you how she wants to be free, and how she can fulfill your dreams. Again, you hope she's right, but you just don't know what it all means. You long to hear a voice whisper quiet in your ear. You long to hear her thoughts so loud and so clear. Let me out of here, please, let me out of here. I want to feel the sun on my face. I want to do the things that every woman can do. I want to take my natural place. Let me out of here. For God's sake, let me out of here. I've been in here too lonely, too long. I want to show the world what this woman. I want to be there where I belong. I belong. She's always tried to tell you her emotions and thoughts. She's always tried to put up a fight. She's torn you both apart, and that's when you found yourself crying at night. You've often sat and thought about the meaning of life, whether this is part of the plan. You know you have the mind of a beautiful girl, but the shell of man. You love to hear her thoughts whisper quiet in your ear. You've often heard her voice loud and clear. Let me out of here. Please, God, let me out of here. I want to feel the sun on my face. I want to do the things any woman can do. See, I gotta take my natural place. Let me out of fulfill your dreams and make your mind and body as one. You know that there are many changes ahead, but the journey's begun. You're very glad you listened to the things that she said. You listened to that voice in your ear. But now that you have charted your course straight ahead, it all seems so clear. You've longed to hear a voice whisper quiet in your ear. You've listened to her thoughts so loud and so clear. Now I'm out of here, now I'm out of here. I've gone and felt the sun on my face. I've not needed to do the things we women can do. I've taken my natural place. Yeah, I'm out of there. Really out of there. I was in there too lonely, too long. But now I'm gonna tell the world what this woman can do. I know I'm where I belong. I belong. Many thanks indeed. Here's another little one that I wrote, about 5 years ago. And I was thinking, I'm getting on in life. I'm one of those people that should be put away for 4 months, if not put down. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. There's a little piece called When We Grow Old, as we all will, I hope, unless we're struck down by a aardvark or something, I don't know. But anyway, however... When we grow old, the mind's a part of us. We grow old, need to keep it strong. Brave and bold, the feelings in the heart, the ones that make each person carry on. In younger days, we gossiped around the coffee pot, talked about the fashion sense of all our latest friends. Now we sit and ponder what's ahead of us, never knowing when or how life ends. Whether life's been good to us, or whether life's been bad, mind's the key to happiness, To disregard it will only make us sad. For sadness is as sadness does, it leads the mind astray. It's then you need to always use all those gifts you've gained through life, and you will find the mind will be the thing that is of use to you. You will find the things you know. They will help you still to grow as we grow old. You will have the greater power, though your life has fewer hours. You will find the mind's the key to going on. You'll keep the body strong to carry on. The mind will still be strong to help us carry on when we Thank you.
We just thought we'd finish with a little sort of adventure to help us all on our way, because many St. Patrick's Day events will have to take a much lower key than usual this year. And this group, I think our journeys have got so much in common, and we've got so much that we can move forward together and in our own ways on. But it's nice to have a little end with a little bit of cheerfulness. Now, my partner Al, who is in the audience, he noticed something on social media, which I think was written by an Irishman, who said, if you want to go into social isolation, you just find a bar and stay there for 2 weeks. So we'll end with a little tune, and it's very well known. It's a little polka, and it's in D if anyone's interested, and anyone can tap along and clap along. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everybody, you're watching theblind.tv. The 20